All right, welcome to Olean Alliance. And today we're kind of going to take a step back and we're really just going to talk about the fundamentals and why mastering your CPR, your closing, phoning, and recommendations is so key and so important. All right, so I want you guys to draw this visual up and I want you guys to write down all these things that are up here as well. So this is the Cutco life cycle of a rep. And once you guys actually kind of get hired, these are going to be like the 5 main things or the 4 main things that you guys need to be having a hyper awareness of. So the entire job of the rep position, the foundation is names and numbers. Everything you do stems on your guys' names list. So, Michaela, as my engineering major, what happens when you build a house on a sand foundation?
It don't be a house for long.
It don't be a house for long. What happens when you build a house on a really strong, flat foundation?
It be a house for long.
It'd be a house for long. And that's the same thing with your guys' rep experience. Guys, I've seen a lot of reps fail this job. And every single time they come up to me and they say, Trey, I'm out of people to call. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let me hear your recommendations approach. How many messages have you been sending out? And it sounds like some stuff they learned from like Wustoff and Hankel's training. It's terrible. So with that being said, have a hyper awareness on your names list. So can we get to mission 100? Can we get to 100 people on our names list, excluding our recommendations and referrals of people that we know? Can we go back and go to our initial list that we brought into training? Can we do demos with those people? Can we send out some social media messages? Can we go on mom's Facebook and message all mom's Facebook friends? Can we message all of dad's Facebook friends? Can we get on our Instagram and pull out our yearbook and friend and follow all of our friends on social media and build our names list? Can we expand and ask some of your college friends if we can get more names and numbers from them and their friends' parents, right? Because without names and numbers, this job is useless and this job is pointless, because what do names and numbers feed into? They feed into people to call. They lead into people to call. And when we do a phone jam and I say, take out your phones, let's make some phone calls, and you have no names and numbers, what do? Nothing. You're stagnant. It stops, right? So having people to call is so key and so important. Now, why is having people to call so important? And why is making phone calls so important? Having phone calls is so important because it leads to demos. It leads to demos. Now, what do demos lead to? Demos lead to 2 things. Demos lead to more money in your pocket because you guys are closing like crazy. And it also leads to more recommendations and referrals. And then in turn, it feeds back into your names and numbers. So I have a challenge for you guys. Can you guys memorize your closing, phonings, and referral scripts as soon as possible? Especially during this push week, when you guys come back from Olean push, we're going to be in winter break almost, right? You guys are going to be doing like your Thanksgiving break, and then you got like 3 more weeks, and then you're coming back to school or coming back home from school. And when we get into winter push is going to be the most key, most important push of the year, because you guys will have a chance and opportunity to win a trip to Mexico for free. We do it every single year. So can you guys build up your names list? And during this push week, we should be calling our best 5 customers and doing our top 10 customers, because who do our top 10 customers hang out with? Other really cool people. Now imagine doing 10 demos this push week, getting over 100 names and numbers of baller customers who are all going to buy homemaker signature sets and ultimate sets, or at least buy something from you, right? Because if you go into December push and if you finish this push strong, you guys can flip your push week like that. But it takes doing demos, it takes making phone calls, and it takes getting names and numbers. Closing, phoning, recommendations. If you guys want to, I know all of you guys are going to Oleans. That means all of you guys have an interest in management. And I was talking to my staff about this, Braden, but everything that me and Jenna do stems on CPR. It just looks a little different, right? So we phone and we call people to set them up for interviews. That's our phoning skills. Our demos are trainings, team meetings, advanced trainings and actual trainings, right? Those are our demos. If we can't read our training script, if we can't read our interview script and do a presentation and not sell Cutco, but sell the opportunity of Vector and Cutco, we're not going to have anyone in our office. We need to close people on the opportunity, not necessarily the product, right? And then when we go through training, we all ask you guys for for referrals of people who you guys think would be able to join the job. Asking for referrals. So every single part of your guys' demo is so key and so important. And mastering your CPR is the fundamental to any level of advancement in Cutco. Because even now, because I had my CPR memorized, now I'm a much better manager for it. And I don't want to send you guys to Olean. I don't want to send you guys out as branches or new district managers and you guys not have these core 3 things memorize and have the fundamentals for these 3 things. Because I know if you guys can book a demo, you guys can book a PR. If you guys can do a demo, you guys can do an interview. If you can get recommendations and referrals from your customer, you can get it from the training class. And that's what your office will really hinge on, is those 3 core fundamental activities. So be intentional, walk with a purpose, do your demos with a purpose. Every single time you pick up the phone, do it with a purpose, because these are going to be the exact things that you guys are doing next summertime. And these are going to be the things that will help you win this push week as well. So I got a kicker contest for you guys. Anyone who memorizes their closing, phoning, and referral script and can say each one of those scripts out loud, I'll get you a free homemaker piece for each one. Any homemaker piece that you want. So if you memorize your demos or if you memorize your closing script on pages 8 and 9, I'll give you a knife. If you memorize your phoning script, I'll get you a free knife. And this is recorded too, so I can't go back on this. So that is how key and that is how important those fundamental skills are to the rest of our job and to the rest of your guys' Cutco career. And that's why they're so important for this push week. So with all of that being said, master your closing phoning recommendations, master this push week. Let's make phone calls. Let's build our names list. Let's get recommendations and referrals. And more importantly, let's make some fucking money. Let's make some fucking money. So with all that being said, that's everything I got for you guys. New Olean videos come out every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. You know what it is. Hit that like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. See y'all.